I'm about to reveal something that might shock you, something that most people over the age of 40 completely miss until it's too late. I'm Dr. John Marston, and after more than 30 years as a renal specialist, after examining thousands of kidneys, after holding diseased tissue in my own hands, and watching patients decline right in front of me, I can tell you with absolute certainty that almost everything you've been told about kidney disease is dangerously incomplete. You've been told to watch your blood pressure, control your sugar, drink more water. You've been told that if something was wrong, you would feel it. Except that's not how this works. Kidney disease doesn't knock. It doesn't warn you. It silently progresses while your body is already failing from the inside out. And by the time you feel something obvious, you are often already in irreversible damage. This is not a minor issue. This is a slow, silent destruction that can steal years from your life without a single dramatic symptom until it's too late. Margaret was 72 years old when I first saw her, a retired school teacher, disciplined, careful, the kind of woman who followed every piece of medical advice perfectly. She checked her blood pressure daily, stayed on her medications for over 15 years, ate what she believed was a heart-healthy diet. Her readings were stable, her doctor reassured her repeatedly that everything looked fine. But then something small started happening. Every morning, she woke up with puffiness around her eyes. Not dramatic, just subtle swelling. She ignored it. Her doctor told her it was probably salt or aging. Over the next 8 months, that puffiness spread to her ankles, then her legs. She began feeling tired, pale, slightly short of breath. Still, her labs were only slightly off, nothing urgent, until one morning she collapsed in her kitchen. Acute kidney failure, emergency dialysis, and within 6 months she was gone, all because her kidneys had been leaking protein for years, silently. Here's what most doctors don't explain clearly enough. Your kidneys are not just filters. They are precision-controlled filtration systems, like a high-tech coffee filter with microscopic pores designed to keep essential proteins like albumin inside your bloodstream while removing waste. But when those filters become damaged, even slightly, they begin to leak. And when albumin leaks out, fluid follows it. That's why you see puffiness in the eyes first. The skin is thin there. It's the earliest visible warning sign, not pain, not fatigue. Puffiness. Comment below eyes if you've ever noticed swelling around your eyes in the morning, even if you thought it was normal, because what I'm about to show you next goes deeper than this. And if you ignore this early signal, what happens inside your body next is far more dangerous than you can imagine. Now I'm going to explain the biology behind what just happened to Margaret, because this is the part most doctors never fully break down for you, and once you see it, you will never ignore those early signs again. Imagine your kidneys as millions of tiny sieves, each one lined with a delicate mesh called the Glomerular Filtration Barrier. This barrier is made up of specialized cells and proteins like nephrin and poddicin, forming a structure so precise that it allows waste molecules to pass through while holding back critical proteins like albumin. Think of it like a fishing net designed to catch only large fish while letting water flow freely. But when that net becomes damaged, even slightly, the holes widen, and suddenly, those essential proteins begin slipping through. First, a little, then more, then continuously. Here's what happens next. Albumin isn't just a protein, it's a fluid regulator. It acts like a magnet, holding water inside your blood vessels through something called oncotic pressure. When albumin leaks out into your urine, your blood loses that pulling force. Fluid escapes into surrounding tissues. That's your puffiness. That's your swelling. That's your body literally leaking from the inside. And it doesn't stop there. This triggers a cascade. The kidneys sense fluid loss and activate the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, or RAS. That's a hormonal chain reaction that tells your body to retain more sodium and water to compensate. But this is where things spiral out of control, because now you're holding on to even more fluid while still leaking protein. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom by turning the tap on full blast. You don't fix the leak, you flood the system. Comment swelling if you've ever noticed tight shoes by evening or sock marks on your ankles, because that's not just water retention, that's a failing filtration system. Thomas was 68 when this exact mechanism started destroying his body. He had been on blood pressure medication for over 20 years, his readings consistently around 130/80, what most guidelines call controlled, but what no one paid attention to was his urine. It had been slightly foamy for years. He mentioned it once. It was dismissed. Normal, he was told. Except it wasn't. That foam was protein. His kidneys were leaking. Over time, his RS system became chronically activated, driving his blood pressure higher internally, even if the numbers looked acceptable on paper. His vessels stiffened, his heart worked harder. Then one night, he woke up gasping for air. Fluid had built up in his lungs, congestive heart failure triggered by kidney dysfunction, a system collapse that started with a silent leak. Studies back this up. The Rotterdam Study followed over 7,000 individuals and found that even small amounts of albumin in the urine increased cardiovascular risk by over 50%. Not a small difference. That's the difference between aging normally and catastrophic decline. And this brings us to the next mechanism most people never hear about, because it's not just about fluid, it's about toxins building up in your blood, slowly poisoning your body from within. Now we move into the second and third mechanisms, and this is where things become even more dangerous, because what's happening inside your body right now, if your kidneys are struggling even slightly, is not just fluid imbalance, it's toxic accumulation and hormonal collapse, and most people have no idea it's happening until the damage is already advanced. Let me explain it simply. Imagine your bloodstream as a flowing river, constantly carrying nutrients in and waste out. Your kidneys are the filtration plant at the edge of that river. Every second, they are removing urea, creatinine, excess acids, and metabolic waste. But when kidney function declines, even by 20 or 30%, those waste products don't disappear. They stay. They accumulate. And slowly, they begin to poison your system. This is called uremia. You won't feel it immediately. But your body does. Your skin becomes dry, itchy, irritated. That's uremic pruritus. Your breath changes, developing a metallic, ammonia-like smell. That's urea breaking down into ammonia in your mouth. Comment taste if you've ever noticed a strange metallic taste or bad breath that doesn't go away, because that's not dental, that's systemic. But it goes deeper. Your kidneys also control minerals, calcium, phosphorus, potassium. When they fail, these minerals go out of balance. Calcium gets pulled out of your bones. Phosphorus builds up in your blood. This triggers proteins like matrix GLA protein to malfunction, and suddenly calcium starts depositing where it shouldn't, inside your blood vessels. Your arteries begin to harden, not slowly, rapidly. It's like your soft, flexible pipes are being coated in concrete from the inside. This is vascular calcification, a ticking time bomb. This is why kidney disease doesn't just lead to dialysis. It leads to heart attacks, strokes, sudden death. Harold was 75 when I saw this exact process in action. He came in complaining of severe itching, constant fatigue, and muscle cramps at night. His labs showed elevated creatinine, high phosphorus, low calcium, and his hemoglobin was dropping. His kidneys had stopped producing enough erythropoietin, or EPO, the hormone that tells your body to make red blood cells. He was becoming anemic, pale, weak, oxygen-starved at the cellular level. Within a year, he suffered a massive cardiac event. Not because of his heart alone, but because his entire internal chemistry had been disrupted by kidney failure. But here's where things change. And this is where you need to pay very close attention, because this is the part that gives you power. This is reversible, not managed, not slowed. Reversed. I'm going to start giving you specific actions now, but before I give you the exact protocol, you need to understand that fixing kidney health is not about one pill. It's about restoring filtration, stopping protein loss, and correcting the internal chemistry of your body. Comment reverse if you're ready to take control, because in the next part, I'm going to give you the exact steps, the exact doses, and the exact strategy to protect your kidneys before it's too late. Now I'm going to give you the complete protocol, the exact steps, the exact doses, and the exact strategy that targets the root mechanisms we just uncovered, because this is where most people either take control of their health or continue down the path of silent decline, and I'm not going to let that happen to you if you're still here. The first component is vitamin D3, not D2. D3, because D3 is the active form your body actually uses, and it directly influences kidney function, calcium balance, and immune regulation. The research-supported range is 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily, taken with food. Because it's fat-soluble, think of it like a water slide. Without fat, it doesn't get absorbed properly. The second component is magnesium, specifically magnesium glycinate. Not oxide, not citrate glycinate, because it stabilizes cellular energy and supports the enzymes involved in filtration and electrolyte balance. The dose is 200 to 400 milligrams daily, ideally in the evening. The third component is vitamin K2, specifically MK7, because it activates matrix GLA protein, the very protein that prevents calcium from depositing in your arteries. Without K2, calcium becomes dangerous. The dose is 100 to 200 micrograms daily. This trio works together like a coordinated traffic system. D3 brings calcium into circulation, magnesium regulates the process, and K2 directs calcium into bones and away from your arteries. Not one alone, all three together. The fourth component is hydration with intent. Not just drinking random amounts of water, but consistent intake throughout the day, because your kidneys rely on steady flow, not floods. And the fifth is protein awareness, not elimination, but balance, because excessive protein can overload damaged filters, while too little leads to muscle loss and weakness. Now let's address what your doctor might say. Your labs are fine. That's the problem. By the time labs are dramatically abnormal, damage is already advanced. Bring the research. Show them early markers like albumin in urine. Some will listen, some won't. If they don't, you need a second opinion. Another objection, this is too much. No, what's too much is dialysis 3 times a week for the rest of your life. What's too much is a $90,000 annual treatment cost. This protocol costs a few dollars a day. Cheapest insurance you will ever buy. Eleanor was 70 when she came to me with early swelling, mild protein in her urine, and fatigue. We implemented this exact protocol. Within 6 months, her swelling reduced, her energy returned, and her labs improved significantly. Not slightly. Significantly. That's what happens when you address the mechanism, not just the symptom. Now here's what I need you to do. Subscribe to this channel right now, because the algorithm will not show you this information again, and your subscription could put this video in front of someone who desperately needs it. Leave a comment. Tell me your age and whether you've noticed swelling, changes in urine, or fatigue. Share this video with anyone over 40. Text it, send it, post it. Somewhere right now, someone is ignoring early kidney signs, and this could change that. Comment one word, control, if you're taking action, aware if this opened your eyes, or late if you feel like you've already waited too long. Bookmark this video, come back to it, review the protocol, and before you go, watch the next video on your screen, because even if you fix this, there's another silent factor affecting your kidneys that almost no one is talking about.